So we're going to do our graphics card next. Obviously for a gaming PC, this is your probably your biggest component, most important component, next to the processor. Originally we had chose a GTX 460. It's an NVIDIA based video card. This one's by EVGA. It'll run you less than $200 and you'll get some solid performance out of it. But we're actually going to install the GTX 580, and this bad boy just came out this week. And it is the cream of the crop in terms of video card. It should get us by for many, many years. It'll also set you back many, many dollars. So the choice is up to you. So let's see how you did this. So here it is, the GTX 580. You can see it is a pretty lengthy card here. But with the NZXT full tower case, there's no problem getting a fit. You're going to want to put that in your first PCI Express slot. It's going to take up 2 slots in the back here of the case. So we're going to go ahead and remove those slot covers and just snap that in there. So next we're going to install the hard drives before we finish up on the video card and stuff. We're going to do all the power at once, that way we get the best cabling and management we want to get out of that. We're going to do it with a Intel X25M. It's a solid state drive, and this is going to be our boot drive. Basically we're going to put Windows on it and not much else. That's going to give us fastest boot times and best performance there. The NZXT case has these nice trays that we can slide hard drives in and out. They're normally for a full-size hard drive, but the solid-state drives usually come as 2.5-inch form factor. So luckily, all you need to do is line up the drive to the screw holes at the bottom and attach it, and we can still slide it in there. Now we're going to install our full 3.5-inch drive. We have a Western Digital 1 terabyte drive here. Again, these trays are real nice, so you actually don't even need tools. You can just pop out these little metal tabs and then slide the drive in there and push them in. Okay, so it's mounted, and you just slide it right in. Next we're going to install a DVD burner. Again, the NZXT makes it nice and easy. It's a toolless design. We can just slide the thing in, the drive in, and it'll clip into place. So next thing we're going to want to do is start connecting our power cables. There's a 24-pin cable that connects to the motherboard. This is your main source of power. You want to line this up. Make sure that the small little brackets line up to the direction of the connector on the motherboard. The video card actually requires 2 PCI Express power connectors to power it, so we're going to hook that up to here and then connect that to our power supply as well. The whole time we're going to route the cables through the back. The nice thing about this Corsair power supply is that it actually has 2 connectors on 1 cable for you, and they had both the 6-pin and the 8-pin. We need a 6 and an 8 for this guy. It just splits off just like that. It's kind of nice. Nice and easy. So another very important thing with building a computer is you want to have really good airflow. So we're putting a 120mm fan in the front here to suck cool air in. That'll be brought across the hard drives here into the case. And again, we have our cool air being brought in the back through this radiator. And then up top here, it'll be sucked out, the hot air from there. All this hot air, hot air rises, so it should pull that right outside the case pretty well. So as we're finishing up the case here with the power and everything, one of the most important things to do too is hook up these various little motherboard cables. In this case, this is AC97, which I know means it's an audio connector. You can see here, HD audio. There's a USB connector. This will let us have access to the USB ports here on top of the case. But then the most important grouping of cables is actually this loose set here. This is your power switch, your hard drive LED, and stuff like that. So you're going to need to consult whatever motherboard manual you have and then match it up to those little things right there and plug it in. Okay, so now we ran power from the power supply to the back of the cage the case to the hard drives here. And we hooked up all of our fans and everything to the power supply, and everything's behind the motherboard here. We'll tidy this up later. The next step is actually to run our serial ATA cables, and then comes the moment of truth. So hooking up the serial ATA connections is really easy. You got a nice 90-degree pin connector here that came with the motherboard. You just stab it right onto the drive and push it until it clicks. We're going to take the cable and run it through these nice little grommets here. So then you can see on the board here, it's kind of hidden by the video card. We've got a whole bunch of serial ATA ports that we can connect it to. But the ones down here actually say serial ATA 3 on it, which means they're a little bit faster. And we do have serial ATA 3 support with one of our drives. So we're going to hook them both up to that. Again, you just kind of push them in there and wait till it clicks. So our last step was to hook up the CD-ROM drive to serial ATA drive. So the same steps as you did with your hard drives. And run the power, connect the serial ATA cable, and run it to your motherboard. So at this point we have everything installed in a case. We're ready to go. We're not going to pack everything up yet, because what we're going to do now is what I call the moment of truth. Put all this time and effort into it, picked all your parts out, spent all the time to do installation, and now you're going to press the power button. And you're going to hopefully see and hear everything how you're supposed to. So we're going to flip the little switch on the power supply, and we're going to press the power button, and hopefully we hear the gentle purr of the fans. That, my friends, is the moment of truth, and it looks like we're functioning. We're going to tidy things up, and then we'll wrap this PC build up. As you can see here, we're all up and running. I got the side panel off right now, so you can kind of get a look at it lit up a little bit. We have some LED fans to give it some aesthetically pleasing lighting. It's not too audible, it's pretty quiet. It'll get quieter once you put the side panel on, but we do have the option to control the fan speed. There's both an onboard controller, which lets you adjust the speed of the fans in the case, and we've also installed this third-party one from NZXT. It has a nice little touch screen. This allows us to do a trade-off of performance versus noise. So if you want less noise, you don't care too much about performance at the time, you want to let things get hotter, you can use that.